Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk. What's up? Big Herc 916, getting down with a fresh out Prison Talk. Now this story right here is pretty crazy. They're calling the baby a miracle baby. Miami-Dade inmates described secret way they got pregnant in jail without meeting each other. Check this out, man. So you have Daisy Link, right? That's the female's name. Daisy Link was in prison, jail, awaiting trial, charged with second-degree murder. They said that she shot her boyfriend in her leg and he died, okay? She was an inmate at TGK for more than 2 years. But in June, Daisy Link gave birth to a baby girl. And they were tripping like, how she give birth to a baby girl when there's been no contact with any males? How this happen? Well, listen to this, right? She said she never met the baby's father face to face. And DNA results show inmate number 200147865, Joan DePaz, is the baby's father. How is that? Check this out. Joan DePaz started talking to Link through the AC vents in their cells. Daisy Link, she said, you would knock on it, you can hear the people from different floors, you would stand on the toilet, actually be able to talk to them. So they pass the notes and pictures. They do this in jail, man. This is how people communicate, and they pass all kind of other stuff. But Daisy Link said, being in isolation for so long, you begin to spend hours and hours talking to this person, to the point where it's almost as if you're in the same room with them. Link and DePaz formed a romantic relationship, and the 23-year-old shared his dream. Joan DePaz said, I always really wanted to have a baby, and I'm not going to get to do that for a really long time. So if I had to choose somebody, it would be you. And she was like, yeah, we could do that. DePaz came up with a plan. John DePaz, not gonna lie, this is gonna go down in history, he said. Daisy Link, I don't know what my fate is. You kind of don't know what yours. If we're gonna go out, might as well just go out with a bang. If it works, it works. But it definitely did. John DePaz, he said, I told her a way that one of my friends had showed me through the vent, because the vent is like an L shape, really. It drops right into my vent from her room. She could throw a pin into the vent and it'll land right into my vent. Daisy Link said, we had to figure out a way to drop the line. It was a line we had established out of like bedding material. John DePaz said, I put the semen in saran wrap like every 5 times a day for a month straight. Daisy Link, he would kind of roll it up almost like a cigarette and would attach it to the line, and we had an event and we'll pull it through from there. I had placed it inside of, the yeast infection applicators. I had placed it inside of there, and then from there, I administered it. So he was putting his sperm in saran wrap, rolling it up like a cigarette. She was pulling it through the vent. She would use a yeast infection applicator, squeeze it in her, and they kept repeating this, right? She said it only took a few tries before she became pregnant. Daisy Link said, I was very excited. I was ecstatic about it. And then somebody else said, well, is it possible? And a fertility specialist said yes in the short answer. So Dr. Fernando Ackerman is the medical director of the Fertility Center in Miami. He said the chances of this resulting in successful pregnancy are slim, but not impossible. He said, we estimate that probably their chances were less than 5%, but that is not to say that the chances were zero. So this is absolutely a case that is exceedingly unusual to my knowledge. I've never heard or read anything like this. On June 19th, the baby was born at Jackson Memorial Hospital. Daisy Link, I can't believe it worked. I think everything happened for a reason. John DePaz, over here, I'm like a celebrity. So this dude's a celebrity in the county jail because he sent his sperm through the vent and got a female pregnant without ever touching her. What do you guys think of that? Is that crazy or what? Never touched her, but got her pregnant. Lincoln DePaz, who are now in different jails, still talk on the phone and see their daughter on video visits. Daisy Link said, she could be anything. I think that she's going to be something great. Wow. Now, you may be wondering how this was able to happen without correctional officers realizing. Miami-Dade Corrections has an internal affairs investigation which officials tell us is ongoing. So, he got her pregnant. I'm trying to see what he's in there for. It doesn't really say. I can't remember. Maybe in another story it said what he was doing time for, but I can't find in this story exactly what he's doing time for or what he's looking at. But I think he's looking at quite a bit of time also. So he got her pregnant. Now she obviously has to have somebody take care of the baby on the outside. And the jail is going to be locking down those vents or really stepping up whatever security measures, because that's a major blunder. But yeah, man, they're calling it a miracle baby, and it's pretty crazy. Now, I met a guy in the feds. He had got his wife pregnant while he was locked up through a similar move, right? So his wife was coming to visit him. He was doing 20 years. And, you know, in the feds, you can't have conjugal visits. So he wanted to have a child before he got out. And, you know, doing that much time, if he waited too late, you know, he would be a lot older and the child would be, you know, so much younger. And so he wanted to take advantage of the opportunity while he could. So he was at a spot where he was able to have an individual get his sperm to his wife. She then inserted it in her, you know what, and she got pregnant. Now, the prison got hip to what had transpired when they seen her come to visiting pregnant, right? They're looking and they're like, kind of like, you know, and, you know, they see she's pregnant. I think he told me it was towards the end, maybe when she couldn't hide it. And then, you know, they didn't really say it. Then she had a baby, and then they're like seeing him they're like, this doesn't make sense. You know, this dude's a mob dude. He's not going to be here, you know, all up on somebody else's baby with his wife. So they immediately, when they, you know, got the hint or inclination that it was his child, they put him in the hole, and he was in the hole for over a year under investigation. and they were trying to squeeze him to find out who he had take his sperm out of prison and give it to his wife, because that's a major security violation. And they never found out. He never told. And of course, the person he had handled the business never told. But it was a big thing, man. It was a big thing. This guy, they sent him all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast to make it more difficult. He didn't have visits for a long time, and they made it as hard as they could in order to try to get him to tell. But, he's a stand-up dude. He never told. But that's the only other time I've heard of somebody smuggling their sperm out of, a jail facility to impregnate a woman. And my friend did it in the feds, and these two did it in the county jail. So the vents, man, that's even more spectacular, because the vents, you're running a fishing line through the bedding material, and you got to pull it through the vents to get it to come through the toilets or through the vent. Because they're standing on the vent, so they got to drop it through the vent, and then you got to get it through the vent hole. So you're talking about some MacGyver shit, but they made it happen. Miracle baby. Leave a comment, share the channel, subscribe. Let me know what you think, man. This is a crazy prison story. Big Herc 916, fresh out.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.
Visit BigHerc916.com to pick up a limited edition GTA poster signed by me for $10, or with your purchase of a Wig Splitter Porsche t-shirt, I'll throw in a free poster signed by me for you.